What's up, y'all? It's your boy J Fit, man. Back again with another video, man. And today I got another basketball video that I'm doing. Last video I did was like a ball handling video, a bunch of different ball handling drills. Today's video is gonna be like basically like a shot chart, shot making, different work on your game shot type of video. So I'm gonna be showing y'all like different ideas that y'all can do to like work on your game, specifically work on moves, work on shot making, work on hitting different spots on the floor. So make sure that y'all like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new, man. We're just about to put in some work. We're gonna start with a little bit of pizza shooting to get the form cued in. So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk up to the basket. I'm gonna get the form right, one hand at first. And I'm just gonna be holding that follow through. I'm gonna hit 10 from the middle, 10 from the right side, 10 from the left side, getting those shots up, really trying to get the form cued in. Let's go ahead, get to work. Here we go.
But the biggest key to success in anything you do.
Never say you can't do it. Say I haven't done it yet.
Just get up, move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it.
The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
Everything about discipline. Everything about discipline and every day. And every day, like, you know, train, sleep, eat, repeat.
If you feel that pain, please give that pain. If you feel the pain, then feel it. The more you actually move with the pain, that's where success is.
Achieve failure. Achieve failure. If you can do that, you can also win.
I wanted to be the guy that people looked at. I don't care if you like me or didn't like, I don't care. But it said, this motherfucker's gonna keep coming after whatever is in front of him.
What does this say? It would never be over.
Be the hero of your own movie. If your life was a movie and it started now, what would the hero of your life's movie do right now?
There are times where you'll have to pull away from everyone. It is not because you don't love people. It is not because you think you're better than people. It is not because you have an attitude. It is because you must evolve. And in order to evolve, there are times you have to take a revolution around the sun, away from everyone else, in order for you to come out of the dark areas and walk into the light the right way. You see, they've only seen one version of you. They've seen what hasn't evolved, but it's time for you to pull away so that you are not under the microscope of what they watch or what they think they know, but you show them what you can become by the fact that you overcome things that no one knows you're going through.
People say, what do you think about when you shoot? To know what a perfect shot feels like, you have to earn that love for basketball. Real work is what people don't see. Hours and hours and hours and reps every single day. At the time, you don't really know if it's gonna pay off, but you kind of have the faith and belief that it will.
Yeah, it's have to become your lifestyle and everything here in mental, you know, everything about mental. You know, it's like people ask me like, when you become champion, what you feel like, and I said, no, in my mind, I was always champion.
Telling yourselves that we can't do something is simply a lie. It's a lie and excuse that holds us from doing what we know we can do and we're able to do. Where if we put ourselves in a situation where all we want to do is focus on succeeding, we'll quit telling ourselves lies, we'll find reasons why we want to succeed, and the answer is right in front of us. The opportunity is right there. Instead of the excuses, the desires turn into results. Instead of the lies and all the deception that we're telling our mind, we have people that are attracted into our lives every day. All we have to do is recognize that, move towards that, and accept that for what we know is to be truth. The lies we tell ourselves are holding us back from becoming the person who we need to become, who we know we can become. It's time to tell the truth, because every day that goes by is another day we'll never get back. And we don't know how long we have here, but the one thing we do know is we always have the day we're here, the present moment, and the more we can tell ourselves the truth and give up the lies, the faster and quicker we'll find success.
Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to disappear, not because you're weak, but because you're done being available to things that drain you. You're done explaining yourself, done performing for people who never really saw you, done answering questions from people who never cared to listen. They'll say you're running, that you've given up. Let them talk. Let them think you fell off. Let them believe they've seen the last of you. Because while they gossip, you're grinding. While they speculate, you're stacking. While they laugh, you're building something they'll never be ready for. You're not retreating. You're recalibrating. You're not hiding. You're re-engineering. You're stepping back so you can come back. Different, unrecognizable, unstoppable. And here's the part they don't get. Growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it feels like loneliness. But that isolation, that's sacred. That's where real ones are forged. There's a version of you that only pain could build. And most people will never meet them because they would have tapped out long before the transformation ever began. You're in the shadows now. But don't forget this. All legends do their best work in the dark. The cocoon doesn't look like much, but what comes out of it flies. You've been doubted, mocked, counted out, laughed at. They forgot to count your obsession. They overlooked your discipline. They dismissed your rage. They thought silence meant defeat, but silence was just the sound of strategy. Every time you were quiet, you were plotting. Every time you disappeared, you were sharpening. Every time you went ghost, you were becoming the version of you that doesn't ask for permission anymore. People forget, resurrection requires a death. The old you had to go. The insecure you, the apologetic you, the people-pleasing, approval-chasing, watered-down version of you, buried. And what's rising now is something they've never seen before. Everything you were waiting for someone else to give you, you gave it to yourself. That validation.
Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make 50 off the glass, going back and forth from the left to right block. Let's get to it.
Internal, that strength, forged, that self-respect, non-negotiable. You used to flinch. You used to seek approval. You used to fear rejection. Now, you are unavailable to anything that doesn't serve the mission. You are unreachable to distractions. You are unshakable in your purpose. And the beauty of it is, no one saw it happen because you didn't post about it. You didn't announce it. You didn't need a crowd. You needed a mirror. You needed the fire. You needed the pain, and pain delivered. It taught you what comfort never could. It showed you who you are when there's no applause, no praise, no spotlight, just work, just faith, just grit. The kind of transformation you're going through can't be faked, can't be mimicked, can't be skipped. It has to be lived, and you lived it, alone, focused, relentless. Now the only question is, are they ready for the version of you that came back from the dead? Because you are. And this time, you're not here to take part. You're here to take over.
People don't have a tendency to act depressed. They are depressed. And when you find yourself under that press, you've got to press up. Because like a bench press, the weight can come down heavy on you. But if you can find it within your core, if you can lock and push from your feet, if you can stand your ground and push up from the ground, you can lift and rebound from whatever tried to press you. The moment you hit that personal record, that PR, you find out your wins become your PR, your press release. Let them see who you became.
Let it happen, regardless of what it is, because it is meant for you. It all adds to the symphony, my friend. It adds to your story, the grand masterpiece that you are creating.
You're the only person in the entire history of the world that is ever going to get to experience the world as yourself. You are the only you in the whole entire universe. And if you think of your life that way, where there's an importance and an urgency to express all that you are, your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your creativity, it's your duty to yourself to let yourself be known by others.
But this isn't a game, this is life. And sometimes life will hit something at you that challenges you, that nearly breaks you. You gotta start looking in the mirror and realize that when life bats something at you,
3 signs your car accident is worth major compensation. If you've been in a car accident recently, there are 3...
That's 50. All right, so we've already done quite a bit of work hitting the jumper. Now what we're gonna do is moves into a mid-range jump shot. So first thing I'm gonna do, we're gonna make 10 shots. So 10 shots of attack. So I'm gonna be attacking the rim full speed, hesitation, put it down. Mid-range jumper on that right side, gotta make 10 of them. Let's go.
The ability to catch it and throw it right back at life.
You just gotta weather it and keep on walking and don't flinch. Don't let them know they got you. Don't let them know they got you. You just gotta keep on going. No matter what the day is, no matter what the move is, keep going. God gave us everything to point forward, to go forward. And what we do is at a standstill or stepping backwards. We don't do that. We keep on walking, regardless of what they say, what they think, and how they feel.
That's what resiliency is. It's the ability to bounce back from something quickly. You don't have time to sit there and wallow in what was broken. I need you to grab the pieces that were broken and fit them back together and realize that the puzzle of life can be figured out by you. But you've got to put so much into it. You've got to become the architect of your own life. Take ownership of it and say that no matter how difficult life gets, I don't want it on easy mode, because nothing great comes easy. And adjust and become resilient. You will become everything you ever dreamed of, and even the stuff you never thought of.
It's not what we get that makes us happy, it's who we become.
All right, that's 10 on the right side. Take a short break, about a minute. Then we go get 10 on the left side. Easy money work. Get it? Now we got the left side here.
How we live our life, who we are as a person. People can take away all the things, but who you become, no one can take away. And the problem is most of us are trying to be something we're not. It isn't so much about change, about changing yourself. The change happens when you be yourself. Success without fulfillment is failure. Do you want to know what's really you? Where you're going to be alive is when it's really you. What takes guts is to put yourself on the line. What takes guts is to say, I'm going to make this work. What takes guts is to say, I'm going to believe, knowing I could be disappointed and devastated.
Perception is in your head. So how you perceive yourself determines the direction that you go. If you're defeated, if you're a woe-is-me personality, you'll treat your body accordingly. If you are no matter what, I'm gonna make this happen, right? If you're the type of personality, or you can will yourself to
All right, next we got 3-point jumpers. We got stationary threes from the top of the key. Here we go, y'all. Top of the key, gotta knock down some stationaries.
Towards your great. If you have those tangibles within you, you'll be great.
I can tell you without a doubt that if you're analyzing your life right now within some disturbing emotion, that 100% of the time you're going to make your brain worse. You can't think greater than how you feel. That means then you were thinking in the past because those emotions are a residue of the past.
But it's accepting and loving yourself as you are, but not accepting and loving the destination you're at. All comparison is a formula for misery. All comparison. And what often we do is, one of the most insidious forms of comparison is comparison to our former self.
When someone loves themselves, when someone really believes that despite my flaws, despite my shortcomings, my looks, my income, I like me. I love me. When you love yourself, you treat yourself as such. To be in that place as a human being, to love yourself enough to say, you know what? I understand my value. And because I understand my value, I'm gonna treat myself in every area of my life the best way I can. Be the best version of me.
That's 10 from the middle. Now 10 from the left wing. Here we go.
I may slip here and there, but my love is stronger than my hate. My love is stronger than my weakness. My love is stronger than my doubt. If your love is the epitome of you, then you'll always win in life.
People are spending the majority of their life waiting for something out there to take away their emptiness or pain or the resentment in here. Well, they're waiting their whole life in separation or lack. Then, and we create reality, then the lack is driving certain thoughts, which is creating more separation and more lack. Let's stop telling the story of your past and let's start telling the story of your future. And people who aren't defined by a vision of the future, for the most part, are left with memories of the past. And your brain is a record of the past. It's an artifact of everything you've learned and experienced in this moment. So most people wake up in the morning and they start thinking about their problems. And those problems are memories that are tattooed in the brain that are associated with certain people and things at certain times and places. So the moment a person wakes up a clean slate, they start thinking about the problems they're thinking in the past. If you believe your thoughts have something to do with your death.
All right, y'all. Now we'll go back to the mid-range. Now we're gonna hesitate, step, cross, cross over, get to the mid-range jumper. Let's get to it, y'all. Here we go. Right side, start.
Wow, there's a possibility that your past is the future.
I think you get a charge out of that. Rah, that relentless, nothing's gonna stop me. You know what I mean? When you use that power, that's just as beautiful as the smile. I do it because it's a daily thing, right? Every single day I get up thinking, all right, how are we gonna make today better? What is it about today that you're gonna work on that you gave a little bit of time to yesterday? Some people dwell on their failures and some people allow it to own them, or their shortcomings or their weaknesses. I look at it as a way of challenging myself.
All miseries of comparison. And we may not realize it. We're not really that upset with where we are. What we are is, what happens is we compare it to where we think we should be, and that very comparison is what brings us misery. We're happy to be breathing. We're happy to be alive. We're happy we woke up. It's the immediate comparison to what could be, used to be, should be, or somebody else's being does that brings us the sadness, the angst, the anxiety, the worry, the frustration is always comparison.
All right. Same move, left side now. Here we go.
Because most people who use their imagination, they use it the wrong way. They imagine what won't work. They imagine something bad happening. See yourself where you want to be. You got to live there. You know, when you reach a goal, you're going to act like you're already there. It's already happened intellectually the second you think about it. It's already happened emotionally when you're emotionally involved with it. So it's only a period of time until it manifests in physical form.
And to do well. I intend to make a difference. And long term, there is a power to our intentions. Eventually, if you put those intentions into the universe, something positive comes back to you eventually. I intend to do well. I don't always do well. I make mistakes, but my intentions are really good. Too many of us aren't giving ourselves credit for our good intention. Give yourself a little bit more credit for how good you are. I mean, not good in your ability, or good at how special. That's a long leap to think we're special. But are you a good person? Do you intend to do good? Do you have a kindness in your heart? Do you want to serve other people? Because if you do, you ought to feel really damn good about yourself.
Why are you limiting yourself because of what people might think? We hold so much weight on others' opinions that it becomes our own, which is crazy to me. Everyone in this world wants to be better than where they are right now. What's stopping you? Oh, I know. You. We create so many excuses to pursuing the best version of ourselves. It's not just words, it's actions put into words, put into motion, and that becomes reality.
For a new class of robotics, the age of reason has arrived. In a fixed environment with narrowly defined tasks, robotic systems can be pre-configured and programmed to do the same thing over and over again. But for dynamic applications like agile manufacturing to field repair, construction and aviation to logistics, the robot must learn, adapt, and adjust with flexibility to autonomously solve problems in the moment, in real time, and at the edge, right where the work is being done. Beyond sensors and fixed instruction sets, robots working in unpredictable places need to apply reason to solve challenges on the fly. Learning, adapting.
A lot of people talk, a lot of people don't do. The ones that talk and do, they're the cultivators. Great takes a level of discipline that is distraction-free.
My question to you today, my friends, are, and really, I want you to think about this one a little bit. I want you to take your time and really meditate on this. Why are you doing the thing that you're doing?
All of us want to feel inspired. We all want to feel like we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. We all want to have some sort of physical and psychological safety, whether it's at home or work. And at the end of the day, every human being on the planet wants the feeling that I can provide for myself and my family. There's nobility in work.
I think dreams are fine. Like it's fun to fantasize, but I think it's also important to just be honest about what dreams are. Is that they're fantasies. They're fun. And so I prefer to kind of take more of a present approach of like, okay, let's pay attention to like, how does this feel right now? How does the work make you feel now? Because I think if you pay attention to that, that's actually what makes great things happen in your life.
And I realize frustration is suffering. I get frustrated, I get concerned, worried sometimes. I go, okay.
Back to the front, back to the top of the key. Gotta hit 10, hopefully it don't take 20 years this time.
Suffering, where's it coming from? What am I stressed about? What am I concerned about? And what I immediately do is I realize, the stressful thought, since I've seen Christian G, I kind of traded one thing. What I really do now is I dig in and I notice that the only time you have stress or suffer is when you believe a stressful thought.
My thing is like, as long as I try my best, as long as I attempt it, then, you know, that's not failing. Because there's a lot of people in life, whether it's in their personal life or in their business life, and they sit on the sideline and they're like, man, I don't have the resources, I can't build a business. Or I'm not old enough, I don't have the knowledge. Or I'm too old that I can't build a business. And I always tell people I'd much rather be in the trenches. I'd much rather be on the field than sitting on the sideline wasting time and thinking, man, I can't do that.
What are you really seeking after? Right? What do you really want? What hole in you? What missing part of you? Or what sore spot in you is healed by the pursuit of your goals?
You need the problems because that's what generates the meaning. And if you don't have the meaning, then, you know, everything just feels pointless. And you're like, well, why do anything? So you need that meaning. You know, it comes back to that, what I was saying about the stories that we wrap around our positive and negative experiences. You know, like that meaning is what creates those powerful stories that pushes us forward and, you know, makes us feel like our life is well lived.
All right, that's 10. Now back to the dribble moves. So now what we gonna do, hezzy with the right hand, hezzy, in and out move. Fake the cross, push it back out to the mid-range pull-up. Here we go.
I realized all I had to do is have my phone to be stressed. If that's true, my happiness is so cheap. Because what are the chances of everybody doing exactly what you think they should do the right way every day? So the antidote to suffering, the antidote of loss less never is appreciation. I always tell people, trade your expectation for appreciation, your whole life changes.
The best leaders are actually the best followers. The best leaders never think that they're the final, that the buck stops with them. They always believe that they're in service to something bigger than themselves.
The majority of not only entrepreneurs, but human beings, like we start off with can't. Like the majority of people are like, oh, you can't do this because this, and this. And it's like, humans are very disempowering creatures. Like if we don't catch our thoughts, if we don't catch our patterns, if we don't catch the things that come out of our mouth, if they're negative, like we need to switch that.
What really matters is the relationships with the people in your life. If you don't have people close to you to share them with, or to support or help support you, pretty much anything will eventually feel empty.
Don't confuse humility with meekness. Humility is being open to the ideas of others.
Your happiness will never last as long as it's got expectation. What I did was, I began to realize I made the decision, the most important decision I believe of your life, and I'm not going to suffer anymore. Life's too short.
All right, 10 on right, 10 on left now. Sit on the left side, let's go.
Suffer, and I'm going to live in a beautiful state every day. And the way I do it is, I catch myself when I start to get that sense of stress. I let it go, and I see the ideal body.
To me, self-confidence is measured, and there should be a degree of doubt. When we talk about building one's self-confidence, I think the mistake that we make is that we look inside. I think the reality is when we try to build our self-confidence, we should be looking to our friends, we should be nursing our relationships. When I'm looking to build my self-confidence, the question is, who around me do I need to take care of?
Success is not you saying how much money you have in the bank account. It's about who you are and how you show up in the world and how you show up for yourself. Forget about everybody else, how you show up for yourself. I honor your opinion. I will listen to good feedback, but I don't care if you think I'm a good person, I'm a bad person, I'm successful, I'm failure. It's not for you to decide, it's for me to decide.
They'll complain about being burnt out, or they'll complain about being tired. And I don't think necessarily in every case that we're burnt out or tired because we're doing too much, but maybe we're doing too little of the things that really matter, that make us feel alive.
The only way that change is going to take place is if you see the evidence of the collapse right in front of you. I think the challenge is that people have to wake up. And the question is, how uncomfortable do you have to become before you make up your mind to change something?
In life, I don't lose, I only win or learn. Like, if people can realize, like, so many people think like they've lost, but like if you just pull one piece of information that's good, whether it's a different perspective, extracting knowledge, a different way to go about life, a different way to not fall on your face, like that's winning.
Appreciation, love, and joy destroy suffering. You can't be grateful and angry simultaneously. It's possible. You can't be worried and fearful and grateful simultaneously. So I tell people gratitude is one of the emotions to cultivate that'll destroy the suffering.
Things are going well, you're happy. When things aren't going well, you're sad. But when you learn how to self-regulate and create more coherence in your brain and heart, then you're no longer...
All right, it's 10 on the left. I'm gonna go a minute break, and then I'm gonna go spot up threes. Right back to that left wing. Here we go, baby. Work, don't stop. All right, y'all, right to these left wing threes.
You're dependent on your outer world controlling your mood.
The biggest and baddest people are handicapped and crippled by their limiting beliefs, the things that they tell themselves, and that's why I say the biggest disability is a bad mindset. It's not this body.
Here's how I deal with fear. Fear is a figment of our imagination, right? Fear is created because of expectations. Firstly, once you have an expectation of yourself and you say, hey, I don't need to have this expectation, I'm just living life as a play. It's a game, it's music, it's fun, it's joy. So I'm doing it for the fun and the joy, so I am enjoying along the ride. Like, I'm not gonna kill myself if I don't get there one day. Like, it doesn't define me. It's there only so I have something to chase.
My goal is not to make everything absolutely equal, the amount of time in my relationship, the amount of time I spend in the gym, the amount of time that I'm working on my career. But maybe the goal is like an orchestra. You know, each instrument, they don't necessarily have equal time, but they come together in a way that creates art, you know, a symphony.
Choice is a gift, it's always there. You can choose what you focus on, and what you focus on is what you're gonna experience. You can focus on things that make you suffer, you can focus on things that make you grateful. And of the two, gratitude is the better approach. It's not some namby-pamby positive thinking approach, it's intelligent, because when you're in a good state, you can solve the problem.
And like, so many people are trying to seek validation from other people. They're trying to be working on relationships with girls, or trying to, you know, seek validation from other things and Instagram and materialistic things, and when the biggest relationship that they should be working on is the one within themselves.
In fact, you begin to realize how you think and feel begins to produce effects in your outer life.
Okay, Arthur Engel Worthington Schmidt. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Call me AI.
Great. It says here, AI, that you're looking for full-time work. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. Preferably something.
Now you start believing more you're the creator of your life and less of the victim of your life. Now that isn't something that you take one bite of and swallow and it's all over. It's a process of repatterning. It's a process of rewiring. It's a process of reconditioning. It's a process of self-reflection and awareness and changing those beliefs.
All that matters in the world we live in today, outside your belief systems, is your ability to add value.
Fast forward all the way to when we're taking our last breaths. And at that time, nobody's opinions or our fears, none of that's gonna matter. What's gonna matter is how we lived, how we loved, how we laughed, how we learned.
If you're somebody that's had big goals and you always talk about doing things, I'm gonna lose the weight, I'm gonna follow through, I'm gonna make it happen, and you say it over and over again, but you can tell there's a part of you that doesn't trust you.
Back to the right wing, here we go. That took way too long.
Yourself, here's what I want you to do. Start small. Start really small and repair that relationship with yourself. But there's negative thinking, positive thinking, and then there's accurate thinking. And when you hear those things, negative thinking, positive thinking, accurate thinking, you would think that positive thinking would be the way to be. But the important question to ask is, what actually happened? So most of us are triggered from our past, or we have something that happened to us and the emotions get involved and, this ruined me and this is the worst thing. But we have to ask ourselves, what actually happened? Somebody said something that I didn't 100% agree with. Something didn't go the way that I thought it would. I had big expectations. And so we really need to be clear and be accurate. And if you don't know what the ultimate success formula is, what's really going on? What's actually happening here? What's going on? And then the second step is to have a vision. So most people have a vision for what they want, but first step is see it for how it actually is. The second step is see it how you want it. And the third step is make it how you want it. Now, and it comes to accurate thinking. It's really important when we write down goals. It's really important when we get, even in our own personal journal, it's really important not to write down these huge things like I'm gonna make $1 billion and all of that. Some people can write that down. Most people cannot. Most people cannot manifest what they want because when they say something that they're gonna do, imagine that you have these two selves. You have your inner self, like your subconscious, and then you have your external self. And so you've got these two selves. If your conscious mind is always making these big promises.
All right. Now, last move and last. Last move and last barrage of 3-pointers here. So now we're gonna go in and out cross. So hezzy, in and out, cross the deep ender over to the mid-range. Start with the right hand.
Internally, and you don't follow through, internally, it's like this part of you starts to say, you know what? They always say that. And you begin to not trust yourself. And so always seek to be accurate in your thinking. It's not good to go over. It's not good to go under, to hit under your goals. It's great to be accurate. And when you can get in the habit of having these projections in your business, these projections in your life, eventually you build so much trust with yourself. What you say becomes law in the universe. And when your unconscious mind connects with those words that you say, it's like, man, he's gonna actually do it. There's so much trust. The same part of your mind that makes your heart beat 100,000 times a day, you don't even think about it. Your conscious mind says it and then you just do it. But if you always say that you're gonna do it and you never follow through, that part of you that connects with the infinite, your subconscious mind, your antenna, the broadcast, the frequency, the energy that you put out to the world, it's gonna become weaker and weaker and weaker. And so if you're somebody that's had big goals and you always talk about doing things, I'm gonna lose the weight, I'm gonna follow through, I'm gonna make it happen, and you say it over and over again, but you can tell there's a part of you that doesn't trust yourself, here's what I want you to do. Start small. Start really small and repair that relationship with yourself. And now there's this part of me that sees, I say I'm gonna do something and then I do it. And I begin to repair that relationship with myself. Confidence comes from putting yourself on the line, from one, being consistent. That's how you build confidence. If you have confidence in, this chair is not gonna fall apart. If I sit on this chair and 5 times out of 10 I fall on the ground, I have very little confidence in that chair. But if 1,000% of the time that I sit on this chair, I know there's no such thing as 1,000%, but if I sit on this chair every time, I don't even think about it, I'm confident that it's gonna support me. And so when we put ourselves on the line, we've got to...
Left side now, I'm gonna take a minute break first. Doing that move is so tiring, bro. Minute break. All right, left hand now, exact same move, in and out cross.
Start small, and I've had so many times in my own life that I broke promises to myself. I broke my own heart. I didn't have a good rapport or a good relationship with myself because I was constantly lying to myself about what I wanted, why I wanted it, what it took to get it. And then when it didn't happen, I got mad at other people and mad at myself, but really it was just because I wasn't honest with myself. And so you might have to repair that relationship with yourself. And whether it's in journaling or meditation or just having a good relationship with anybody requires you to, 1, spend time with them, and 2, to keep your word. So as you write down your goals and you review your weeks and your months and everything that you want, it's great to think 10x and it's great to be a big thinker, but first let's see it how it is. Let's be accurate. And there's lead indicators and there's lag indicators. Don't get them mixed up. There's consistent things that we need to do every day. You know, you lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid, and pretty soon you will have a wall. You can use that wall to build more walls and higher walls and extra floors, and then you can build a castle in the sky, anything that you want.
What am I going to do today to change what I see in this mirror? How you address it is you face it. You face it every day. You face it every single day of your life. The things that, how people look, how people act, how smart someone is. This is a race that you run completely alone. And you're all by yourself.
Growth only comes through pain.
All right, let's make some squat ups. Top of the key. Here we go.
What you do not hate, you will eventually tolerate. And I think that identifies most people's lives. In other words, average becomes sort of like this slow asphyxiation. It's almost like an anesthetic. And that over time we become kind of immune and dulled to the average that we're becoming.
Your life doesn't have meaning without aspiration or an aim. Okay, so you need a hierarchy of values. There's got to be something at the top. It's got to be something important. If you don't have that, your life doesn't have any meaning. So if you criticize the hierarchy, or even the idea of hierarchy, you destroy the idea of aspiration, and then people have nothing.
This is, I believe, the single biggest factor for most people that robs them of success. That you use what other people might say or think or be disappointed by as an excuse to not fully be yourself, to not fully go after what you want.
You're gonna get out of your life what you'll accept. That's really difficult for people, I think, to understand is, look, what you think you're worth and what you're gonna tolerate is absolutely what you're gonna bring into your life and what the outward part of your life's gonna look like. No, there's two motivators, right? There's the gaining of pleasure, right? Wanting to go get something, chasing the dream, but then there's the avoidance of pain.
I'm great. We surround ourselves around people that make us feel great. They tell us what we want to hear. The second we put ourselves amongst the uncommon people, we don't like that feeling. We like that person who says, hey, you know, man, I don't feel good today, man. And they say, oh, it's okay, brother. We don't want that in our lives. We don't want that person who's constantly.
Last 10 right here. Last 10. Here we go. Last.
Challenging our weaknesses. We want that person who's constantly, you know, making us feel nice and good and secure in ours. That's the mediocrity of life. We want to be the best amongst the average people.
If you don't develop your capabilities and realize your potential, you may be successful externally, but you will be deeply unhappy because you're not fulfilling your gifts, your nature. And so the way that's done is bottom up. Each person discovering their gift, turning it into valued skills, and then using it to succeed by contributing.
But one's career is infinite. There's no end. It's like our lives are finite, but life is infinite. People come and people go, but life continues. They spend their whole life working for one goal, though most will never get it. The few that do don't know what to do next because their goals were finite. Their goals were finite. Right? And so there are finite components to your career, but your career should be infinite. So yes, of course you have to win the finite game. You have to get the part. But immediately when you get the part, now you...
Alright, that's it for the skill work. Let's see if we can catch a dunk or something today. A few jumps, warm up the jump. Let's see if we can catch one.
Convert to infinite.
So the monkey mind is jumping from branch to branch,
It doesn't want to focus on the root of the issue. It wants to find the next banana. It wants to find the next excuse. It wants to find the next instant gratification, right? That's the monkey mind. And so the monkey mind is never going to help you focus on your strengths. The reason why we struggle to find our passion is because the world has constantly pushed us away from our strength. We've constantly been told to focus on your weaknesses.
Warm up and be ready to go.
And so we've all been programmed to say, oh, your strengths, they're fine, they're good the way they are, but why are you not performing at this? And so the one way to know your strengths is to ask yourself, what do you do that you feel the most confidence doing?
When you get tired, when you get fatigued, when you get down, when you're in a slump, it's your habits, rituals, routines, and your standards that carry you through. And if you don't have good habits, you don't have good rituals, you don't have good routines, always in your life you will fall down in bad times, in slumps and fatigue and in stress.
So you want to be normal. So you just want to be like everybody else that roams the world, not knowing the power that's in them, being fine with being mediocre. I see a whole bunch of people walking around out here who have no idea how talented they truly are.
Starting to get a little irritated. I don't have that many jumps before my knees start tripping. You know what I mean? You got to use your jumps sparingly because my left knee is not great. That's it for me today, man. It's not happening. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. Y'all see all the work that we put in today. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Work! You want to get better? Focus on specifics. Focus on specifics. Let's go.